Welcome everyone to What the Force, and welcome to Star Wars Visions Continued. And today we are going to be covering T0-B1 with Hammy. Welcome back, Hammy.
Hi everyone. So yeah, like MC said, we're going to be covering T0-B1 to B1 or Obi-Wan. I'm not sure which. So this is by Studio Science Saru, and it's about a cybernetic boy who dreams of being a Jedi. He discovers a dangerous truth about his creator. I don't know about a dangerous truth.
It's fine.
Yes. So this one was very much I think the creators we had talked about on our speculation, they were using that in the design of the character of Toby. He's so cute, Toby. And then also the story itself very much harkens to Pinocchio and that. And we get the reveal that his master is actually strong with the Force, and he had, well, we'll get to it. We'll get to the discussion of everything.
Yeah, the whole idea behind this, short itself was just, how much could we bring Astro Boy into the Star Wars universe? And I was obsessed with the sound design of this particular episode, because like literally his little footsteps had the little like boop, 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 and like the droids themselves, the little droid noises. His master, Mitaka, who like felt so much like the professor in Astro Boy. He even called him Professor, which is really interesting as well. But we're set up with this idea like, okay, so T0-B1 wants to have adventure and feels very much like a Luke type figure. It literally looks like the Tatooine.
Yeah,
like,
it's very much Tatooine. Right.
And so he's having like these dreams of adventure and becoming, a Jedi in the Force and with the Force itself, and having these adventures. And Mitaka's like that's not what's important. What's important is the work that we're doing, which is literally trying to heal a broken planet. And I am obsessed with this concept. I have been obsessed since like well before The Rise of Skywalker. The idea that we could heal planets is just, I'm obsessed with it. So the fact that they brought this into a short, which was not something I was expecting at all.
No,
I thought like Astro Boy in Star Wars, but like this concept that they're just trying to heal a broken planet. What?
No, they did. Like we mentioned with all of these shorts, there's a second layer related to the Force that didn't need to be there at all. And they chose to lean into that in every single one. So this was a total shock and surprise. Many of us had theorized, like MC mentioned before, The Rise of Skywalker, that TROS might end with some kind of Force healing, but also healing of the planets themselves, the dead planets throughout the galaxy. Mustafar, in the Vader comic, there's hints towards healing Mustafar. Tatooine, and then of course Jakku, where Rey is from, that all of these planets, that the green returning to them is the symbolic life returning to them is also important for the galaxy to heal. Kind of that it's that whole idea behind it. And I love, like you said, that Mitaka, he wants Toby to focus on the work that they're doing because it's really important. But I think through that work, Toby is able to go on, it ends with him going off to the new adventures because he's learned the lesson, right? Like he's learned the power of hard work and all of that he had to do to get to that point at the end.
And he learned the lesson that it's not just about being a hero. It's the why we fight again, right? Like we've talked about this in the other episodes that we've covered, where it's like the why we do things is just as important as the actual fighting. And the why is to heal and to help the galaxy heal from all of the bad things that have happened to it, and to bring back life to the galaxy. It's the refresh of everything.
And we kind of, I know, it's so good. We kind of see it's like in this mini short, we're able to kind of see that whole, again, a hero's journey in that with Toby, because he has the call to adventure. He feels the call of the Force. I love that. Of course, it's a droid. Like, it's so exciting to have a droid feel the Force. And Mitaka tells him, Mitaka reassures him, no, everything has the Force. We all, like, even the planet, animals, plant life, everything feels the Force, and he lets Toby know that. And then
he specifically says that it wasn't just living things, all living things. He says everything has the Force, and that included Toby.
And of course, it goes wonderfully. So then what happens is that Toby goes down into the basement where he's not supposed to be going. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you said that has a lot of mythic connections as well, going down into the underworld. So I just briefly wrote out like the notes about it, but Mitaka saying, hey, you must find this crystal, but the crystal is actually deep inside him the whole time, which also ties very mythically and symbolically. Mitaka himself is the threshold guardian by saying, don't go into the basement, because in the basement is where you fight and you find, or you release the dragon or the demons that you must truthfully face. And that has deep mythological significance too, because you have to go into the unknown. You have to go into these places, into your subconscious, into the unknown, to actually find out who you truly are. And he's only able to go in there, and he's actually hidden away as Mitaka is killed. Yes.
The death of the mentor.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Death of the mentor happens right then. And then we get the Rogue One line when he's blocking Toby out. It's like, I actually like teared up a little bit because Toby looks so sad when he's being blocked. That's when it's finally revealed that Mitaka is Force sensitive, because he's moving the rocks to protect Toby and to protect him from, because when Toby went down there, he turned on the ship and he said, hey, calling all Jedi. What's up, guys? And then, of course, one of the Jedi hunters, I believe they even call him a Jedi killer. Yes, the Jedi killer. He comes to the planet. And so that's
Inquisitor,
when Mitaka,
maybe.
Yeah, I think it was Inquisitor.
So
and
then he says, I am one with the Force is with me, which was the first time we've really heard that since Rogue One. Mm-hmm. And just like, I'm like, that line made an impression on the creators.
Yes. Well, like we mentioned, it's so in the intro before we started all of this, that fact that they're pulling from all the different stories. It's not just, this could have just been a straight, one-to-one Luke parallel, with just Toby, but no, we're pulling from everywhere, from all aspects of the saga and combining into this remix version of it. So then Toby, he goes out to fight the Inquisitor, or the
Jedi hunter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then that's when he finds out that the crystal was inside him. When Mitaka puts him behind the rocks, he hands him the 2 pieces of a lightsaber. And then when he awakens, that's when he realizes, the crystal was inside him the whole time, and he's able to create the weapon.
And he has a moment inside of the Force, and we see this like meditation moment where he gets to have an experience with his former master, Mitaka, who gives him the knowledge in this otherworldly place. And I do call it a world between worlds, but I've always called it elsewhere, where in that moment, Toby is one with the Force, right? That's what that means, is that he is part of something bigger than himself, and he understands his place in the galaxy, and that, yes, he can have adventures as long as it's with purpose, and the purpose is to try and restore the galaxy, both with the adventures, but also with the healing aspect that he wants to help Mitaka on. So first he must get rid of the dragon that he must face that destroyed his master, and then he can work on healing his own planet, his home, which is also so Campbellian in the hero's journey, in that he is able to actually heal his own planet, something his own master couldn't even do.
Right. It kind of speaks to the in The Last Jedi, failure and all of that even it's okay for a master to fail, because, you have your Padawan afterwards to go and continue the journey. Right. So we love that, that Toby was able to do that. I did want to call out in the setting itself, and on the walls that we've got drawings for his when he's dreaming about a bigger life.
Yeah.
We've got little AT-ATs and like fights and little battles that he's drawing on the walls. It just reminded me a lot of Tangled, of Rapunzel when she paints on the walls, dreaming of like her bigger life, and of Rey doing her little tally marks, but at the whole time she's like wanting something more than the life that she's living. It
also reminded me of the kids in the end of The Last Jedi as well.
Right.
Like hearing the stories and wanting to be participants and find their own journey within.
Yeah, you can tell that Mitaka probably had been the one to tell him all these stories, and he'd been drawing on the walls, and because he's such a baby.
He's such a good boy.
Yeah, he's such a good. And well, there was that one shot, like you mentioned, the Last Jedi, the kids at the end of the Last Jedi. He's looking off into the sky, we see the stars, and then it connects to. He's looking in the window of their little house, and it becomes his face. I don't know. It was just a really, really cool shot. But yeah, so then Toby takes up the mantle. And he says, okay, I'm going to do everything that the professor told me to. I'm going to start terraforming the planet, basically. And it was really cool because it also reminded me in The Last Jedi when we see when Rey is connecting to the Force for the first time with Luke, and she says, oh, there's life, death, all of this in a balance. We kind of see it from the starting point where he says, oh, okay, first it's rain, then the plants grow. And then yeah, I don't know. It just was really nice to like see that science aspect of it.
And when the plants grow and it starts to rain, it collects on his little like eye sockets, so it looks like he's crying, but he's not actually able to cry.
Right.
And it's like a very classic, like I'm too strong to cry trope, that the rain falls on your face and it makes you look like you're crying, but you're not actually crying, or it's reflected in a window. And like, it was just such a good way to use that, because he's literally a robot and can't cry.
And can't cry.
But he becomes mythically the master of life and death. He is able to bring death of the things that are harming the galaxy, and he's able to bring and has the knowledge of life and death, and he's able to bring life to the galaxy, even though he himself is not life. It's so good.
So good.
What the hell?
we definitely were not. I don't know how many times we can say it. We weren't expecting this from little Toby from T0-B1.
So solid, Toby. What the hell?
One final connection also to the to Luke and the greater Star Wars universe. When he's fighting the Inquisitor, his arm gets chopped off, and at first I was so sad. But of course, this is so like but it kind of twisted on its head, where it's not like a failure moment at the end,
because it's a droid,
right? And he's laying there with his arm chopped off, and all the other droids are like, oh no, and they're like watching him, and then he just shoots the little thumbs up to let them know he's okay. Oh, it was so cute.
And the cheering of the little droids. I love droids so much.
Yes, and then of course, the episode ends with Toby and his little buddy droid in the cockpit going off on their next adventure.
And they're like, we're going to go and heal this galaxy. And
exactly.
I'm like, yes, this is what we needed the whole time.
This is what we wanted.
Oh my God. This short like gave me so much. I love Star Wars Visions. It's so good.
It's really, really so good.
All right. Do you have any other final thoughts on Toby? We kind of dug into it. Oh, shout out to ponchos again.
Yes. we love the ponchos. No, nothing else. It just we weren't expecting this level of depth in all of these, the connection to all of the themes and the Force. So I just once again appreciate all of that and can't wait to keep going with the rest.
Awesome. All right, Hammy, where can people find you if they're looking for you?
I am on Twitter at BalancePadawan.
All right. And come back for our next one, The Elder. Cheers.